his 7-year-old year, he was unbelievable. Like
7-year-old year, I mean, horse of the year.
Yeah.
Was there a race last year that really stuck out, or was it just the entire year where it's just like, this is awesome?
The entire year, like I'll say, my favorite one was definitely the Canadian Payson Derby. I had never won the Canadian Payson Derby at the time, and coming into it, Lazarus was the big favorite. Everybody was talking about Lazarus, and to win it the way he did, like he win it by 2 or 3 lengths, like in going away fashion. So that was
Canadian Pacing Derby.
That was definitely my favorite race of his. And when we went 46 over Lexington Red Mile, that was pretty special. I was pretty excited about that 46 mile. But all of his races, like there's hardly anything he didn't win that year. He was winning left, right, and center. So that was, I think he made about 1.5 or something like that year, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, the Alarage, like you said, 46, and a lot of the Dan Rudy Invitational.
Yeah,
it looks like Yonkers on International Trot Day.
Yeah,
I mean he can race on any size track. Yeah. He could do it, leave, come from behind, first over, sit a pocket, whatever like that.
Yeah.
Is that something that you try to teach your horses, or it's just horse by horse they end up doing it however?
We try to teach them all you can training. Like obviously training, we do everything. We make them come from off. We make them go to the front. We make them first. Like we do all of it to try to teach them, but it's not something you can teach. Like there's some horses hate the front, hate first over, hate whatever. They got their thing. Wicked, he's got nothing he hates. You can do anything you want with that horse. Like he doesn't care. It does seem like he's first over the majority of the time, and it's like he thrives off of it. Like he doesn't get tired. He's even got times where he's first over. The Yonkers race is a great example. I thought that he was tired. He looked like to me up the backside. I was like, he's lagging some. I don't think he's any good tonight. Like he looked like Brian was chasing him more than usual. Next thing you know, he gets around that turn, hits the head of the lane, and away he goes. So he's got a huge heart, and he doesn't give in. Like it's very, very rarely that I've ever been upset with that horse. He's always give it all he's got.
Now coming into this year, 2019, we got Open Pace and the Open Trot, both headlined by 8-year-olds. I'm getting old too. My back's starting to hurt when I wake up in the morning. I'm sure you're starting to feel some aches and pains. It's tough getting older, right? I mean, it sucks.
Oh, yeah.
But these two, Bold Eagle and McWicked, I mean, they both got if you convert Bold Eagle, he's got 5 million-ish.
Yeah.
McWicked's they're both 8. They're both pretty much dominating their divisions the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But this year, not dominant. Still probably the best. So that transition is a little tougher on you as a trainer, because you're like, I remember when you were amazing, and now I see bursts, and it is a little tougher as he's getting older.
I wouldn't even say that, because he's had a super year. Like, no, he hasn't won everything this year, but like the biggest thing that messed him up is the start. He won his first start back in 49 over Mohawk. That was a big mile that night. His foot blew on me again right after that first start.
Okay.
And then we missed a month. And he went into the Gold Cup with a month with no race, which is nearly impossible. And I entered him in an overnight race. They didn't fill it. Then I entered him in a qualifier. The qualifiers had changed, the draw was already done. I thought the open would fill. The draw was already done. I couldn't even qualify him. And I knew we were in trouble. We're going a month in. And we trained him up, obviously. But I've always said, it doesn't matter how fast you train a horse. A race ain't the same as a training mile is not the same as a race. So he was just short. He came in, I think he finished 3rd, and he was just short. And then we're just behind the 8 ball a bit because he missed so much time trying to heal up that foot. And then he had some bad posts, bad trips. Like the Canadian Payson Derby, we drew the 9 hole, and then he got locked in solid coming down the lane. Whenever he got beat, it wasn't 100% his fault. He was just short from training, so that was our fault that he wasn't quite as tight as he should have been when his foot went. He got locked in a couple starts, and he's really racing. Like, I remember when he was against Lather Up, and Lather Up was he was unbelievable. That horse was just awesome. It was crazy. Like when we come first over at Lather Up at the Meadowlands, they hit the mile mark in 46 in the piece. Wicked's never paced 46 over the Meadowlands. That was the fastest he's ever paced. And then they went another 8th and 12 after that. And he ended up finishing 3rd, I think, that time, and he was first over into it, and Lather Up was just a freak. Like, he was just gone. I'm like, Mick Wicked is pacing faster than he paced last year. It's just he's in against this Lather Up, which was unbeatable. Like, look at Hoosier Park. We clear Lather Up around the last turn. And then we're opening up. We're opening up by a couple lengths. I'm like, we got him. We're gone. And next thing you know, here comes Lather Up, and he's got another gear yet again. So
you feel like Mick Wicked's
I feel like he's had just as good of a
good?
season. He's great. Right now he's sharp, sound, healthy, and I think he's just as good. He's just lather up was in another league for a little while there, and like I say, he just had a few bumps in the road in that. But
Okay.
I think he's as good as he's been, and I feel real good about Saturday night. So.
Let's watch last year's Breeders' Crown. You had never won an open pace, which, I mean, do you feel like the 3-year-old colt pace is better than the open pace? Or the open pace is better, or they're different, or they're the same?
No, my most exciting race has always been the 3-year-old colt pace for me, just because we've been lucky enough that we've had a lot that went to stud, and that's what ends up happening is after the 3-year-old Breeders' Crown, they go to stud. So
Okay.
I would have loved to have stayed and raced a few more of these other horses later and longer, but going to stud is what happened, and that's why I don't normally have many aged horses, because
Okay.
they're either they're good enough to go to stud or I sell them. That's kind of what I do. I don't usually keep them that long after they're 2 and 3, so it's not that often I had older horses.
So it's a little bit different path, but you've been down this with Mick Wicked, so
Yeah.
it's kind of the same. You
Yeah.
kind of know his deal, where he's going to race, what he's good at, what he's not.
Yeah.
Won the Garrity this year in pretty impressive fashion.
Yeah.
I think that was maybe one of the races that really kicked off. Like, all right,
Yeah.
we're still here.
Yeah.
Like, don't forget about us.
Yeah, a lot of
right?
people were starting to forget about him. Then he was
Yeah.
very good up there, and then he got a little bit more talk again.
Yeah.
So I had you'd hear people, oh, you got to retire him now. You got to this. I think he's almost made $1 million this year, so I don't think he's ready to retire yet.
I think he got a couple more years in him. So
The
now
Pacers have reached the
going into this race, Lazarus, right? He had come couple weeks or months before, right? He was only in America a short time.
Yeah.
They were starting to qualify him and doing this. You're sitting up here like Lazarus, right? Or no? Were you like, okay, let's see what this horse got? Because
Yeah.
nobody kind of knew what this horse was going to do here because distances and blah, and almost same thing as Bold Eagle. What's he going
Yeah.
to do at a mile?
Yeah.
So what's your take on, you're the direct competition of this horse.
Yeah.
Are you worried about what he's going to do? Speed, crazy? Or are you just like, no, McWicked's
Yeah.
better?
Obviously, he's a great horse, and I knew quite a bit about the horse. I was actually in the winner's circuit with Lazarus in Australia the year before he came here, because
Okay.
my husband Mark, his uncle Mark Purdon, actually trained Lazarus.
Yep, Mark.
And so we knew quite a bit about Lazarus. And like I say, I literally was in the winner's circuit with the horse in Australia the year before. So, and when he came, like, he's a very, very good horse, no doubt. Saying that, he's used to a whole different style of racing.
Yeah.
Like, our style of racing and their style of racing is completely different. And I knew how good Mick Wicked was at the time, and I knew that Lazarus he has to battle with the change of racing style, the climate change, like a lot of different things. And I was confident in my horse. I always am confident in my own horse, but I was very confident in my own horse.
Had they raced up until that point?
They raced, Lazarus beat us at Hoosier Park. The first time we met, he beat us at Hoosier.
Okay.
And then we beat him at the Canadian Pace and Derby at Mohawk.
Okay.
And then we beat
So
him again.
this was the rubber match.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now once you beat him that first time, because sure, the first time you square off, you're like, damn, he beat us.
Yeah.
Like, the hell? How did he beat us?
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay.
And that's actually how they were doing this. I don't remember if you remember, but they had posters up everywhere, and they were
The
calling
rubber
it
match.
yeah, they were calling it all. But
the rubber match.
yeah.
So now, going into this race, I obviously again other great horses, but it was pretty much you two. Like you knew it was gonna be you two squaring off. If another horse won, it was probably gonna be because you two beat each other up.
Yeah.
Right? That's probably how it was gonna end up. I think that's how everybody kind
Yeah.
of figured. So Mick Wicked was good all week.
Yeah. Oh, he was awesome. And like I say, I wish that Lazarus was right that night, because obviously something, I don't even remember, something was wrong with him that night. Like he, as you'll see on the replay, like he wasn't any good. He stopped pretty good, and obviously he was sick or he tied up or something was wrong with him.
Something about beating a horse or somebody at the top of their game that's kind of sweet.
Yeah.
Right?
It was sweet, but I would have rather just beat him. Like, obviously you could tell something was wrong with Lazarus
That's
that night.
what I mean.
I would
like,
have rather just beat him fair and square,
Right.
But it was quite obvious when we hit
And
something wasn't right with him
Yeah.
that
the
night.
finale, Western
Muddy,
Plains
too.
Center of the
I mean,
yeah.
track is
I
leaving.
mean, we-
Filibuster Hanover fires
Unfortunately,
at the
mud at the
pylons,
Breeders'
goes
Crown.
to
Yeah.
the
It's
left.
like every other year we
And
have
at
it.
Poconos, that red clay is never fun in the mud.
Four off the pace. Following that up on
So
the
I think he
inside,
just
Rock
chilled.
and
He's
Ron.
getting away third or
Delta
fourth
Wave
here.
parked out. He's going to retreat to the back of the pack.
kind of- is this on a driver
Don't
helmet
get
that
it
we-
all
No, that's on the horse.
Filibuster
Oh, it's on-
Hanover
Yeah, I
with
put that on the
early
top of the
advance,
horse's
holding
head.
down position.
Okay.
Lazarus
So now
is
Lazarus
working on
moves
the
to the
outside,
front.
the quarter
What
26
horse's
to
head is your
1.
camera on?
For the
Oh,
moment,
don't tell
it's
me again.
Filibuster
Okay.
Hanover,
Yeah.
but Lazarus
I
moseying
figured
up
it was
on
gonna
the
get a nice
outside
view of the
now.
whole
Virginia
field.
takes over the lead from Filibuster Hanover. Back at the pylons, Western Fame.
So now you're
McWicked
sitting
is 4
fourth.
and 5, and right
You're-
now
you're good,
Stewart's
right?
Yeah.
You kind of feel like we're good.
Lazarus
Yeah,
has
I
cleared
felt
before
good,
the
but I was
turn.
worried that they were
McWicked
giving
steps to
Lazarus
the
his his way a little too much.
Second over to Rock and Run. Also moving out
But
there,
it ended
Don't
up
Tell
working
Me
out.
Again with that big late
Because
kick.
I can't remember the fractions offhand here, but I don't think the fractions were that bad, so I was worried about that.
To the half, 55-2.
Yeah, 55-2.
29 and 1 second panel.
So I was definitely worried about that a little
Lazarus,
bit.
but now Mick Wicked comes on the outside to speed him up. Mick Wicked taking on Lazarus as they approach 5/8. Pocket seat still belongs to Filibuster Hanover. Mick Wicked taking the lead away from Lazarus.
When I was
On the
standing outside by the
Rock and
fence
Run
in that
now
turn,
the
when I
third.
saw him
Also
clearing here,
moving
I was
on the
feeling pretty
outside,
good.
Don't Tell Me Again. Look at Mick Wicked spreading out the lead to 3/4, 122 and 2, 27 even. Lazarus is fading out of it. Mick Wicked now leads by 3 lengths. Rock and Run trying to get to him second. Don't Tell Me Again. Uncorking.
You always feel like at that point, that's when Brian is like, he's not a cocky person, like showcasing.
Yeah.
But when he's like just chilling, you know that's him like swelling up.
Yeah.
Like, I got this. Like
Yeah.
you kind of know,
Yeah.
watching Brian after all these years, when he's gonna win.
Yeah.
He knows he's gonna
Like I
win.
say,
here.
I'm standing on the fence out on that deck that they have there at Poconos right here. And when I seen him go by me looking like that, all swelled up, I was feeling pretty good.
You're pretty happy.
On the outside, all bets off fourth. Top of the stretch, Mick Wicked is lonely on the lead. He's up by 4. On the outside, Don't Tell Me Again, cutting into the margin, but it's Mick Wicked. 4 years later, back at the top of the sport, Mick Wicked dominates the pace by 4. Filibuster Hanover up the pylons for second. Don't Tell Me Again third. Rock and Run fourth. This rivalry was decided decisively tonight by Mick Wicked in 149 and 3.
Looking back on all those Breeders' Crowns, do you still get goosebumps? Do you watch the replays?
I don't a whole lot, no, but watching him's obviously pretty cool and seeing how good he looked there. And yeah, I don't watch them much anymore. I used to when I was younger and still starting to win some of the big races. I used to, but now I don't a whole lot anymore.
Just kind of relive them. Every once in a while, you'll see something that'll remind you of the night or the day or the week leading up to it.
Yeah.
So this year, he's back. He's got to defend his crown. He's the main event again. He's got a different group of horses to fight against.
Yeah.
So got the 8-hole though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we didn't. Obviously, I wish we drew better. The 8's not an ideal spot. Saying that, it's better than the 10 and better than the 9. So it's not great, but it's not terrible. And just we got Brian Sears is awesome. Like he knows what he's doing. He's sharp as a tack, and he knows that horse. And I just know how much air Wicked can take. Like he's literally. I'm not sure how the trip's gonna go. I'm sure he's gonna be. And a lot of people think Wicked can't leave. Wicked can leave. So I'm sure he's gonna be leaving out, get in position, and wouldn't shock me if he ends up first. I'm actually almost thinking when he has the 8-hole, I'm like maybe we'll actually have cover for a change. Maybe he'll end up that horse second over because he always gets away about 4th or 5th. And he's first over. Maybe he ends up with cover.
You would know this more than us. You race here all the time. 70-mile track. Does it even matter if you can leave?
Well, that's
such
the
a
thing,
long
like,
stretch.
Mohawk's such a long stretch, depending on what kind of and the way the race looks, they're going to be going good fractions. Like there's going to be a lot of people going for position. They're going to be going a lot of speed, I would expect. That's a long stretch. Like you're a quarter mile at Mohawk. Like I don't know how many times you see horses come from way off the pace and flying home. So yeah, I wish we drew better, no doubt, but I'm not overly concerned about it. If he's the best, if he's as good as I think he is, he's going to be fine.
Yeah, so, I mean, 2-time champ, well, 3-time champ.
I hope so.
There's not that many horses that can say that.
Yeah.
And back-to-back champs.
Yeah, I sure hope so. Like I say, he's coming out, he trained this morning, he was awesome, he couldn't have been any better, that foot's in good shape right now, and I'm extremely confident with how he is right now, so we'll see how he works out Saturday night.
2020 Hoosier Park.
2020, yeah, I'm not happy. I don't know if I'm happy or not about that. Wicked doesn't like Hoosier.
Okay, I was going to say, what if he gets his only win in the 2020 Breeders' Crown Open Pace? Yeah. Is that it? Is he done?
I don't know. No. But that trail, I say, I love Hoosier Park. There is not a track, like a lot of the tracks treat us great, but Hoosier's just amazing. Like they'll text me a month out. Are you coming? Do you need hotels? Are you bringing owners? Do you need a suite for watching the races? What do you need? And they even, for the grooms in the detention barn, they bring them pizza or pot. Like They're great.
Definitely,
they treat you great.
Definitely put on a show.
And Mick Wicked he just doesn't like that
He just
track.
doesn't like
I'm like, we're snake bitten over there. Like, and I thought this year, that last time we went, I'm like, he's got it tonight. Like, I thought everything was good, and he didn't even get a check actually, which Mick Wicked never misses a check. And actually, he finished 6th, and his foot did. I actually put a picture on Facebook. His foot blew apart again on him, and I actually put a picture on Facebook, and that's what had happened. But
that's kind of nice seeing that there's a little transparency, to be like, look. It's not because he's old, like we all think.
Yeah.
It's a real issue in it. He'll be good. He'll be better.
And he's battled this since he's 3. He's had if this horse had good feet on him, it would be amazing what he could do, because he's had this the entire time I've had him. He's got a quarter crack that's just, a lot of times I got to race him with 1 bar shoe on. Whenever I decide, hey, I'm going to take the bar off tonight, I'm going to put a regular shoe on him and help him grab the track and go quicker. I do that sometimes, but it seems like when I do it, it costs me in the end. Like, he's good in the race. He'll race great, but then after the race, that foot is more of a problem again. And his blacksmith, actually, Tim Cable's flying in tomorrow to shoe him, and I haven't decided whether I'm going with a regular shoe or the bar shoe yet. We'll see how it is and make a decision. But
do they program that, or do they do that up here?
What's
like
that?
What shoes the horse wears?
If we go, but not with bars. They go because he's always in steel. I very rarely put him in aluminum shoes. So if I went from steel to aluminum, I got to report it. But whether he's going to have a bar on or a steel regular shoe on, I don't. But I definitely can never put aluminums on that horse. That would just rip him apart. I can't put aluminum on him.
So you've pretty much learned all you can about this horse.
Oh yeah, I've done all the do's and don'ts, and we know what we can do and what we can't do. And like I say, I know if I put that regular shoe on him, he's going to be even extra fantastic Saturday. But I also know I'm going to have more stuff to deal with after the race again with that foot. So
does he have any other races after this?
2 more. He has 2 weeks off, and he's got a race. He was invited for $100,000 at Rosecroft, which I've never been there before, but he was invited to that race, and we plan to go. And then another week off and the TVG at Meadowlands. And then that's his last race.
So that's nice. That's a nice little schedule. And then hopefully 2020 has a nice little off season and go down to Florida, right?
He goes to Florida. Yeah, he'll go.
Does he go to Elizabeth?
He'll go to he will go to Beth and Doug at Anvil and Lace in Lexington, Kentucky. He'll go be turned out there, have his vacation. They do an awesome job. I send all my horses there. They come back looking like $1 million.